Greetings, everyone. This is Steven. It's a Saturday night here, 1st of December. Thought I'd do a video on what it's like to hear the voices and what it feels like. In many of the other videos that I've recorded in the past year, I should have about 20, almost 25 videos. I never really talked about what it feels like to be schizophrenic, to hear voices. So, first off is identification of what the voices are and where they come from and how they manifest in the ear. Um, personally, I hear voices from three manners, either in my head, in my ear, or um, in the air. Uh, I guess I hear voices that come from the mouths of people. Sometimes they manifest out of the ether or the air around me. Sometimes they manifest from my own mind. Sometimes I'll be laying on my bed, and I'll just trying to relax on my thoughts, and something will pop in my head, and sometimes I can't get it out of my head. Sometimes I obsess over certain thoughts for weeks on end. Now, there was a time in my earlier years in the tutelage of schizophrenia where I used to beat myself up or flagellate myself up for years on end. And so I've had to come to a particular point in my life to where I have to learn to forgive myself, because we are all human beings. Back to the scriptures, all have fallen short of the glory of God. All have sinned. And so I'm not special. I'm not unique. I'm not a special case. I'm not the only person on this planet that exists that sins. Okay, we're all bound by that ball and chain, that anchor that holds us down in the depths of the sea or the depths of the mind or the physical body. I'm not the only one out there or here or in there, whatever you want to call it. I'm actually just among a group of people who are trying their best to manifest a beautiful life. So back to the voices, I can hear voices in my head all the time. I hear my own internal voice with such clarity that even when I speak with my tongue, I hear my internal voice with more clarity, with more sharpness, more inflection than I do when I'm actually speaking. Now, one of the reasons why I speak is because of the fact I'm trying to exercise my spoken word on my sword. It does say in the book of Revelations that Christ will fight against you with the double-edged sword of his mouth, and from the tongue produces word, comes word, and so with hearing voices, it can be confusing at times because you're trying to find the origin of those voices and trying to figure out who it is. You're playing a guessing game. Is it a demon? Is it an angel? Is it a hallucination? Is it real? Is it not real? Is it God? Is it the devil? Or is it just a reflection of my own psyche? You have to ask yourself these questions because if you don't, you're going to get lost in the debris. You're going to get lost in all the garbage that comes into your ear, because being a schizophrenic is not easy. Being schizophrenic is a lifelong sentence. It's a death sentence. It's a 25 to life. Okay, so I'm going to be living with this for the rest of my life. And I do have my own tendencies, and I do have my OCD, which in my next video I'm going to talk about OCD, because I have some seriously obsessive compulsive tendencies. But when it comes to the voices, I don't know the sources of them. I'm just the receptor. I'm just the person that receives the voices in my ear or in my mind, in my mind's eye, my third eye, my third ear, my consciousness. I don't know why I hear voices. I'm just here. I'm just here as a receptor. And so it is scary at times. It is very scary at times playing the guessing game, trying to figure out whether if God said this to me and it's a negative thing, or it has negative connotations, or it has macabre implications. All right, so then I'm in some serious trouble. If it's the devil, you have to weigh that as well. Is it the devil? At times, yes. It says in the Bible that he is like a roaring lion who travels the earth seeking whom he may devour. So he's lying. He's like a lion, and he will do his best to consume you, whether it be physically or mentally. Now, I honestly think that mental pain is worse than physical pain. Physical pain subsides and heals. It bruises over, but it heals. The mind, if you damage or bludgeon the mind, it could be there with you for years, if not decades, if not for your entire life. Now, there was a young man who I did a voice or a video about, who I knew back in 6th grade, back in 1990. He was under so much pressure, peer pressure at home, and peer pressure at school, pressure from his parents, and pressure from his siblings, that he couldn't take it. So he rode his bicycle in front of a semi. So I only imagine what kind of weight that burden could have been if he had actually graduated to become an adult. You know, what kind of person would he be? Would he be a drug addict? Would he be would he be manic depressive? Would he be schizophrenic? Or would he be a doctor? You know, would he learn from his mistakes and from his tribulations and his conditions and his conditioning? You know, would he learn from that and totally twist it around and, grow from that? Or would it stagnate his growth? It's a question that can never be answered because he's gone. You know, he's been gone for 30 plus years. So, I mean, back to the voices, it's a scary situation. You know, I really wish in the moments that I do hear condemnation or bad words or curses or expletives, I wish that I wasn't like this. But when I hear beautiful things such as I love you, it's okay, you're good. And even in the dream world. Last night I had a dream. I went to sleep right around about midnight. And usually what happens is I don't take my medications on Friday nights, because the nights that I don't take my medication, I actually have extremely vivid dreams. And so I had a dream that reaffirmed my belief that everything is going to be okay. Just simple as that. Everything's going to be okay. We have to endure the trials that have been dropped upon our shoulders. We have to endure the temptation of the devil. The book of Revelation says that you'll be tossed into prison and tried with tribulation for 10 days. And if you emerge from that trial and tribulation, you shall have a crown of life. And that's a beautiful thing. So voices or no voices, we're all human beings. I'm just a little bit different from everybody else. But at the same time, there's 1% of 100 people, they develop schizophrenia. So I'm not alone. And to all the people that are watching this video, peace and salutations. Stay positive. For years, I've been telling myself that I'm nothing but negativity. And that's not true, because the mind has two polarities. The mind has either positivity or negativity, and then there's a spectrum in between each pole. So I hope that, you gather something from this video, and, even if I kind of rant and rave or ramble on, I'm still trying to figure out this conundrum called schizophrenia. This puzzle, this Pandora's box. To a degree, I feel like in my studies, maybe I dug a little bit too deep, maybe I dug a little bit too deep. So I will just say this to people out there, stay positive, stay peaceful, stay loving, and always put God first, because if you put God first, everything will follow. Wisdom is better than rubies. And so you should seek the things that'll make you a better person. Don't seek the things that'll make you dirty or salacious or just malevolent. And be peaceful.